What would you do if you were the most powerful person in the world? Would you succumb to pride or wield your power with wisdom and humility? The story of Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, teaches us how one can remain humble even at the pinnacle of authority. His life offers timeless lessons for anyone navigating success, power, or influence. Stay with me to uncover these profound teachings. And don't forget to like and subscribe to support this channel's journey. Your support helps us share more Stoic wisdom with the world. Number 1. Understanding Marcus Aurelius' power. Marcus Aurelius ruled as the Roman emperor during one of the most challenging periods in the empire's history. With absolute authority over millions, he had the means to indulge in any whim or act out of arrogance. Yet he chose humility. He referred to himself as a servant of the people rather than their ruler. For instance, he spent countless hours in his study, penning Meditations, a personal journal that reflects his commitment to self-improvement and virtue. Marcus viewed power as a responsibility, not a privilege. This perspective shielded him from the trappings of arrogance often seen in rulers of his time. He practiced gratitude, constantly reminding himself of the teachers, family, and friends who shaped his character. A specific example can be found in Meditations, where he thanks his father for teaching him modesty and his mother for instilling discipline. By recognizing the transient nature of power, Marcus Aurelius understood that titles and wealth meant nothing in the grand scheme of life. This perspective kept him grounded. Number 2. His philosophy of self-reflection. Marcus Aurelius believed that humility begins with self-reflection. He committed to examining his thoughts and actions daily, asking whether they aligned with his principles of Stoicism. He would often remind himself that even emperors are human, subject to flaws, and capable of making mistakes. This acknowledgement of his humanity was a cornerstone of his humility. For example, Marcus criticized himself for harboring anger or impatience, writing that such emotions were unbecoming of a ruler. This self-awareness helped him govern with fairness and patience. Through introspection, Marcus also identified and corrected behaviors that could lead to pride. He saw pride as a barrier to personal growth and a source of disconnection from others. His habit of self-reflection can inspire us today. By taking time each day to evaluate our actions, we too can remain grounded and focused on what truly matters. Number 3. Practicing empathy and compassion. Marcus Aurelius believed that humility required a deep sense of empathy for others. Despite his immense power, he made an effort to understand and connect with the people he ruled. He saw every individual, from slaves to senators, as part of the same cosmic order. In Meditations, he wrote, "We are all made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids." For example, during a devastating plague, Marcus personally organized relief efforts, showing compassion for his citizens rather than distancing himself in luxury. He also demonstrated empathy on the battlefield. While leading military campaigns, Marcus treated his soldiers with respect, sharing their hardships and listening to their grievances. This practice of empathy made him not only a revered leader, but also a reminder that power is best exercised through understanding and kindness. Number 4. Embracing mortality and the bigger picture. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself of his mortality, a central tenet of Stoicism. This practice, known as memento mori, kept his ego in check. He would reflect on the fleeting nature of life, reminding himself that all achievements, possessions, and titles would eventually fade. In Meditations, he writes, "Alexander the Great and his mule driver both died, and the same thing happened to both." This perspective helped him view life and power with humility. For instance, Marcus often visited the graves of past emperors to reflect on their mortality, understanding that no ruler is immune to the passage of time. This mindset enabled him to focus on serving others and contributing to the greater good, rather than seeking personal glory. Number 5. Lessons for modern times. The humility of Marcus Aurelius offers valuable lessons for our modern world, where success often breeds arrogance. One lesson is the importance of gratitude. Like Marcus, we should recognize the contributions of those who help us along our journey. A simple thank you can go a long way. Another is the practice of empathy. Whether you're a leader at work or in your community, understanding the struggles of others can make you more effective and respected. We can also embrace the habit of self-reflection. Taking a few minutes daily to evaluate our actions can help us stay true to our principles. Finally, by keeping the bigger picture in mind, remembering our mortality and the transient nature of life, we can remain grounded no matter how high we climb. Number 6. Avoiding flattery and false praise. Marcus Aurelius was cautious about flattery, recognizing its potential to inflate the ego and distort reality. He deliberately surrounded himself with individuals who provided honest feedback rather than empty praise. He avoided seeking validation from others, writing in Meditations that one should focus on living virtuously rather than trying to please everyone. If you are praised by others, but your soul lacks virtue, what have you gained? One specific instance was his relationship with his general, Avidius Cassius. Despite Cassius's betrayal later in life, Marcus valued him for his military insight and did not let his authority blind him to Cassius's usefulness. Marcus would remind himself that public adoration was fleeting. Crowds might cheer one day and condemn the next, as had happened to many rulers before him. This awareness helped him stay grounded. By rejecting flattery and focusing on honest counsel, Marcus Aurelius cultivated an environment where truth and humility could flourish, allowing him to lead more effectively. Number 7. Balancing duty and personal discipline. Despite the immense responsibilities of being emperor, Marcus Aurelius maintained strict discipline in his personal life. He believed that leading by example was essential for staying humble in power. Marcus would rise early to study philosophy, even during times of war. His personal discipline reminded him that no position exempted one from the need for self-improvement. He also avoided the lavish indulgences typical of Roman emperors. For example, he chose a simple lifestyle, shunning extravagance in his meals, clothing, and personal habits. Rather than delegating all his responsibilities, Marcus took an active role in governance, often working long hours to address the needs of his people. His diligence demonstrated his commitment to service over comfort. Through this balance of personal discipline and public duty, Marcus Aurelius exemplified humility, showing that power does not excuse laziness or self-indulgence. Number 8. Handling criticism with grace. Marcus Aurelius faced constant criticism during his reign, both from political rivals and from citizens dissatisfied with his decisions. Yet, he viewed criticism as an opportunity for growth rather than a personal attack. He wrote in Meditations that when others criticize, we should first consider whether their words have merit. If they do, we should correct our errors. If not, we should dismiss them without anger. For example, during the Marcomannic Wars, Marcus was criticized for the immense resources allocated to the military. Instead of retaliating, he explained his decisions calmly and sought to improve the situation. He also tolerated philosophical disagreements, even encouraging debates among his advisors. This openness fostered a culture of mutual respect and intellectual humility. By embracing criticism, Marcus Aurelius demonstrated that humility involves acknowledging imperfections and striving to improve, even at the highest levels of power. Number 9. Prioritizing the common good. One of Marcus Aurelius's guiding principles was his belief that his power existed to serve the people, not himself. This focus on the common good was a cornerstone of his humility. He often made decisions that prioritized long-term stability over short-term personal gains. For instance, he implemented tax reforms to reduce the financial burden on struggling provinces. During the Antonine Plague, Marcus personally organized relief efforts, prioritizing the well-being of his citizens over his comfort and safety. He stayed in Rome to manage the crisis, risking exposure to the disease. He also practiced fairness in governance. Marcus ensured that legal cases were judged impartially, regardless of the wealth or status of those involved. By prioritizing the needs of others, Marcus Aurelius showed that true humility and power is measured by one's willingness to serve the greater good. Number 10. Finding strength in philosophy. Throughout his life, Marcus Aurelius leaned on Stoic philosophy as a guide to navigate the complexities of power while staying humble. Philosophy taught him to view challenges, including the temptations of pride, as opportunities for self-improvement. In Meditations, he reflects on how adversity reveals one's true character. He often reminded himself that power is not an inherent good. It is neutral and depends on how it is used. This perspective prevented him from being consumed by the allure of his position. Marcus also used philosophy to stay detached from external accolades. He wrote, "Do not be carried away by appearances. Recognize them for what they are, fleeting." This mindset helped him remain humble. His reliance on philosophy offers a timeless lesson. By anchoring ourselves in wisdom and virtue, we can navigate success and power without losing sight of our humanity. Marcus Aurelius's life is a timeless testament to the idea that power doesn't have to corrupt. It can be wielded with humility and integrity. By rejecting flattery, staying disciplined, handling criticism with grace, prioritizing the common good, and anchoring himself in philosophy, he proved that true strength lies in self-mastery and service to others. His ability to remain grounded despite immense authority offers invaluable lessons for all of us striving to live virtuously. If you found this journey into Marcus Aurelius's humility inspiring, don't forget to like and subscribe to support our channel's growth. Your engagement helps us continue exploring Stoic wisdom and sharing these life-changing lessons. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.